humanity's ultimate destiny? That's up to us individually, because our individual actions and dreams will lead the future course of this species. The globalists want to seize control of that individual North Star with propaganda and direct humanity, and the direction they want to direct us is towards being dumbed down biological servants, biological androids. I'm here calling for the robot zombie rebellion so that humanity actually acts like we were built in the image of our creator and not in the image as the fallen New World Order would have us. All right, let me get into all this news because I want to have open phones coming up in the second hour today. The top story up on Infowars.com has the headline, "Media Works to Keep Mass Shooter Profiles Secret." Democratic, socialist, and occultist make up majority of mass shooters. Now, before I get into that article and give you some of the background and the history, here's the Washington Post from yesterday. Obama marks Newtown anniversary with call for action on gun control. And, of course, that was on Friday that they marked the anniversary of the tragic event. But statistically, they didn't mark 300-plus people killed last year from wasp in the U.S., 200-plus from honeybees. They didn't dramatize that and create all the fear. No, they did it with Newtown and said, come on, ban your guns, turn your guns in. You're guilty, gun owners, for not turning your guns in. It's your fault collectively. Meanwhile, our government is funding al-Qaeda in Libya, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan. You're like, we're fighting them in Afghanistan. They're also funding them. You've got to have an excuse to be there. They're funding them in Egypt, giving them weapons, giving them TOW missiles, anti-tank missiles, giving them surface-to-air missiles to shoot down airliners if they choose. It's okay to give known al-Qaeda with al-Nusra, al-Qaeda flags, surface-to-air missiles that blow up helicopters and passenger jetliners, but you can't have a gun, even though the FBI's own numbers from 1992 to 2002, and then right through 2011, the latest numbers we have, shows a 61% overall gun crime drop. Injuries are down 51% from firearms and firearm-related crimes. Look it up. Those numbers all came out this year. They always come out a couple years late. And people say, well, you're plugging the FBI, you say, is corrupt. No, elements of it are corrupt. Modern statistics are based on J. Edgar Hoover, who was a statistician back in the 20s, who created the FBI, and they get local numbers that aren't perfect, but are as good as they get. And by the way, since 2007, 2011, the drop that's been going on since 92 accelerated. Don't believe me, just type in gun crime drops, but public thinks there's more gun crime, you'll get LA Times. I forget the exact headline, but it's like, as gun crime drops, perception is crime is up, or gun crime is up. That's because the media is brainwashing people. I mean, every cop show I see, every drama, every show, the cops find some child molester or drug dealer or horrible person, and then, oh, they have a gun, they go to jail for that. Well, yeah, because they have a gun in the commission of a crime, not because they have a gun. But, ooh, you got a gun, you're going down. People see that and believe guns are illegal. There's the LA Times. Gun crime is plunged, but Americans think it's up, says study. May 2013, May 7th. Boom. See, I got the headline almost exactly right. 51% drop in guns in the commission of crimes where there's injuries. 60+% in overall gun crime being down. But you'd watch the news, folks, and you'd think there were gun owners swinging from chandeliers killing everyone. The truth is the mass shooters all pick victim disarmament zones, federal buildings, military bases where they don't let troops have guns. They don't trust them. Public schools, disarmed colleges, airports. This is where, in literally 90+% of the cases, they are Democrat, socialist, devil worshippers who are also into video games, shoot-'em-up games, and on drugs. Not a good mix. You know, if I live next to devil worshippers and they told me they were devil worshipers and were strutting in and out of their house with guns, I would move. I would move. I've had bad neighbors before, not like that, but I've had bad neighbors before. I didn't even have a cat, and this woman would come over. I lived over in South Austin. She'd say, your cat is going to the bathroom in my flower bed, and I'm going to basically call CPS on you, on your kids, if you don't clean it up. And I'd say, call CPS? What's that have to do with the cat? Just watch your butt, buddy. And I submitted to her. I said, it's not mine, but I'm going to submit to you just as a smart way. No one to hold them, no one to fold them. I would go and remove it when I put the for sale sign up. Didn't have a cat, and would just look at this old demonic woman who told me, I hate your show, I hate you, some kind of socialist. And I took the high road because I couldn't move out. I didn't want to deal with the false charges. She wanted petty power, and usually I'll fight back against anybody, but sometimes you have to learn to submit. And I would go and wash her feet, basically, Christ-like, clean up, I don't know, probably 10 times. She'd come over and tell my wife, come clean up your cat's crap. She'd go, we don't have a cat. You liar, you liar. You know those mentally ill people. That's why I now live on 9 acres and talk to no one. If they want to get rid of that, they want to have me right next to people in cookie cutters, next to all the screwed up scum they've created. Side issue, excuse me. Now, that's a true story, by the way. That's a true story I just told you. This creepy woman, man, and her state employee husband. They were like 75, but he still worked for the state. And I mean, boy, they said, you're the Alex Jones on TV and radio? And they just started making crap up. We lived there about a year before they figured out who I was. And boy, when that happened, living hell began. They were going to make me the bad man. They were going to demonize me. They were going to do any, I'd look to the fence and see them looking at me. But I'd be in the backyard playing with my kids. Total creep bags. And of course, they were state employees. But side issue. Let me get back into this stuff I was talking about here with you. I'm not saying all state employees are bad. A lot of them are listeners. You know what I'm talking about. The point is they were state employees. She was retired. He wasn't. He was with the highway department. They might be listening if they're not dead yet. That was about 6-7 years ago. So Obama makes his remarks. And then here it is, ladies and gentlemen. We have the article right here. Media works to keep mass shooters' profiles secret. An undeniable pattern has continued to emerge in light of mass shootings, despite the media's attempt to avoid connecting the dots. In the wake of recent high-profile shootings, the media can almost immediately be seen attempting to link deranged shooters with political right. As facts come in, the desire to connect shooters to the political ideologies quickly erodes as the same antidepressant talking left-wing occultist profile emerges. The 2011 Arizona shooter, registered Democrat, devil worshiper with a satanic shrine in his backyard on psychotropic drugs. Boom. Dressed like the Grim Reaper. And I'm not knocking goths, because most goths are nice people. But, I mean, it is a subgroup of goths that are into this. Despite every one of them's a goth. Harris Klebold, Kip Kinkle, Adam Lanza. Just, I mean, it's just about 90% of the time they're a goth. Despite initial reports attempting to paint the same picture, information now shows that last week's shooter in Colorado, Carl Halverson, was a devoted Democrat, socialist, and, of course, we'll tell you the rest when we come back.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
You've got 50+% drop in guns being used in crimes violently. You've got 60+% drop in guns being used in crime, period. We showed those numbers. If you're a radio listener, you can watch it, Infowars.com/show, actually see the feed and see all the graphs and documents we're showing you. And then, meanwhile, I saw an article by Kurt Nimmo, and then I followed it over to the Denver Post, and then I learned that they later removed it out of their article, and the police removed it. Colorado shooter, opinionated socialist, and Keynesian, that means centralized economic planner who claims they're free market but isn't, where the government basically controls the economy. But don't expect Mark Potok at MSNBC to talk about how yet another, quote, devout socialist democratic liberal who didn't like people debating with him. It turns out, this is out today, conservatives on the speech team, he wanted to shoot the conservatives. We've now confirmed there were conservatives on the team. I did this right before the show. I should have called Watson or Thalen or Nemo or somebody that's working on the weekend. because I just forgot, even before the show, it actually showed the teacher and the librarian and the students he wanted to go after. And I went and looked and searched their names. This is breaking for media out there. And guess what? They were Republicans and libertarians. So a devoted socialist Democrat wanted to shotgun Republicans and libertarians. Now, by the time MSNBC's done, they'll say, an Alex Jones listener, that's what they usually say, literally, you've heard them, you know, tried to kill precious godlike Democrats. And again, I'm not even a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a constitutionalist. But the Republicans at least pay lip service to the Republic. Democrats openly want to get rid of it. So I forgot that little tidbit in research. He was going to kill people for their speech. And, of course, you know what a communist is. A socialist that's willing to pick up an AK-47 and go after their political enemies. That's all they are. That's what it always turns into. So the real story is Democratic socialists wanted to kill people for their speech. Wow, there's the headline. Because it says he was mad about a disagreement with people in speech class, and then I went and looked up who he wanted to kill. Too bad he only got to fire shotgun pellets into him like a good commie. He didn't know he should have had slugs or double-lock buck. Thank God these people can't shoot straight. And he wanted to go kill conservatives, the picture is emerging. That's the problem as a news hound, obsessed with this 7 days a week, literally every waking moment. I could be bouncing one of my daughters on my knee when they were little. I'd be sitting there reading an article. I can't help it. You're either in the game or you're not. And I just remembered that, oh, I discovered by off the names of who he wanted to kill that they're Republicans and libertarians. And then it says he wanted to kill the people that disagreed with him. He's a Democrat socialist. He wants to kill them. You think that's newsworthy? Democrats are now trying to kill people they disagree with. And he probably thought, oh, good, and I'll use a gun. They'll take guns while I'm at it. That's how I win the debate. I'll just do this. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is why in fact, I got to call my writers right now. Folks, I know it's plugged in out there. Bring me my phone. I got to call Watson. I know it's like 12 o'clock at night over in England or 11 o'clock at night, or I got to call Gucciardi, or I got to call Mikhail Thalen, or I got to call Kurt Nimmo because literally this is international news. Yeah, bringing. Oh, wait, Kit Daniels is here. Kit, listen, I went and searched the name of the librarian and the name of the people. You can go find the speech team, and I did it right before air, and then got distracted with other stuff and some management stuff I was doing here about the launch of the new TV show and stuff, and I forgot because I was meeting with Dube. If you go search the debate team at that school and the name of the librarian and the teacher in them, I found the folks on there as they were having socialist versus conservative debates. It says in the article, in fact, let me give you the article right here. You find it right here. That, where is it? That he wanted to, it's the picture with a young woman. Here it is. This is out of a Wall Street Journal. That he wanted to go after them because of the speech debate. We've got them. This is literally hardcore commies trying to kill people they disagree with. And that's the revolutionary struggle. That's what they're going to do as soon as they get our guns. The cowards can take us out one by one. Oh, here it is. Walmart employee arrested for shooting coworker's car over awards. See, it's all about getting. That's why we need our guns, is to protect ourselves from these scumbags. So listen, here's the stack of articles. I know you've been working already all day. Or when did you come in? Why are you here? Oh, good job. Well, listen, I don't want to give you this assignment because you already worked 5 days this week. I know you're not a commie. You like to work. Do you want to do this, or should I call somebody else? You want to look into it? I mean, you could just go with the headline, Democrat-targeted conservatives on speech team he disagreed with, something like that. I'm telling you, I found it. I went and found it. And he said he wanted to go after people on the speech team, so here it is. It's pretty big. But listen, there's no pressure. I will literally call one of the other guys that wants to do it. You want to do it? Oh, you're working on a magazine article. What's the magazine article about? Obama being a dictator? Yeah. All right, well, don't worry about it then. You know what? I'll take care of it. We'll just think about it and we'll see what happens. Doesn't matter. A lot of media is listening already. All I care about is the story gets out. Thank you very much. All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I'd forgotten about that. A lot of times I'll think of something, and then when I get back to the stack later or after the show, I get so mad because I've got all these stacks. Document cam, please, from the high shot for TV viewers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 stacks of news here, and I've covered 2 stacks of 16. And if you want to know why I'm so angry and wound up, ladies and gentlemen, I do all this research, and then I get in here, and I'm pretty angry. You know, I'm pretty angry that 4 hours ago I was reading that this person was a Democrat that wanted to kill the conservatives on the debate team. And that's buried in the news article, and it should be international headlines. Meanwhile, gun owners, you and I, the bedrock of this country, one of the few countries where people haven't been disarmed, we're being blamed for another school shooting. And it's not like it's just this one dirtbag. Almost every time, whether it's Son of Sam or Kip Kinkle or Harrison Kleinbold, 5 miles from this latest shooting, or Adam Lanza, it's devil-worshipping goths on serotonin reuptake inhibitors that play shoot-'em-up games that love the Democratic Party when they're not out at their satanic coven. And, listen, can I have guns to protect myself from the devil worshippers, from the socialists, from the commies? I mean, the commies killed over 200 million people in the last century. The fascists only killed like 50 million. Of the 260-plus million the University of Hawaii put out in a democide report 2 years ago, of the 260-plus non-military combatants killed, men, women, and children, you name it, by government, 206 million were killed by commies. Communists are the enemy. Communists are the problem. Communists are the issue. And I'm sick of them. I'm sick of them. I'm tired of them. And you're not going to get my guns, you trash. Get that through your walnut brain. I am sick of it. I'm a liberal, like Thomas Jefferson. I want property rights, family rights, gun rights, religious rights. You can do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt somebody else. I want drugs decriminalized. If you want to come here on a worker visa and you've got skills like Switzerland, come on in here. You don't have skills and you want to come vote to take my guns, go straight to hell. That's what I'm for. I'm for free association and freedom and not being a slave. And government takes one way or another 60+% of what I make, state, federal, local, and I think I'm paying enough. I think 60-something% enough. We don't need 100% taxation like France has got to abolish the middle class. Man, I just got wound up. The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other members of the fluorine family that are added to Western water supplies are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the people that drink it. So the question is, why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We developed Fluoride Shield to be the highest quality, highest standards because I use it every day and my family uses it every single day. Let's take a closer look at the ingredients that make up this special proprietary formula. Tamarind has been celebrated for its ability to immobilize toxic fluoride residues, while zeolites have a long history of attracting and holding toxic compounds. Enter fulvic acid, an excellent cleansing agent. Then we added the highest quality shilajit, a rare compound that is collected from the high mountains of the Himalayas. We topped it all off with the powerhouse herb cilantro that is intended to mobilize fluoride and other dangerous compounds for removal from the body. And the final touch to energize this formula is our proprietary nascent iodine. And as always, consult your physician as well because that is important. And finally, Fluoride Shield, Survival Shield, and all the products at InfoWarsLife.com grew out of my quest to try to find the very best compounds from God's cornucopia to protect myself and my family. And from our research, I believe we are bringing you the best, highest quality products. And you have that commitment from Alex Jones and the entire InfoWars crew. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. You know who is seen as the greatest political leader in the world right now? It's Pope Francis. Do you know who's seen as number 3? Ted Cruz. That shows how powerful the Tea Party ideology is against a solid wall of Marxist, Leninist BS funded by big mega banks who want to bankrupt everybody and make us dependent. Now, I've got an amazing video that I was going to air Friday that we never got to that's coming up. And we've also got the new Vigil ad that I was just mentioning. And then we've got Interstellar that I want to talk about coming up. I'm going to air part of that trailer here, Matthew McConaughey's new film coming out. I've got the IMDb over here. And then we'll just take nothing but calls for the balance of the transmission. But right now, speaking of calls, let's go ahead and go to your calls. Noel. I don't know. Noel is kind of a Christmas term. Maybe that should be banned as offensive. They're banning nativity scenes all over the country right now and threatening to arrest people who won't bake gay and lesbian birthday cakes. So, and again, I'm not against gay and lesbian people, but I think folks should be allowed to not bake them birthday cakes if they want to. Sorry, Noel, I didn't mean to add all these non sequiturs to the start of your talk. Go ahead.
Absolutely, Alex. And, you know, for just the purposes of this broadcast, let's just say, you know, bleep. So we don't get in trouble or we don't get the show shut down.
Exactly. So we're talking to Bleep from Chicago right now.
Yeah, Alex. So listen, I'm a first-time caller. I've been listening to the show a couple of years. I subscribed to InfoWars, Prison Planet TV, I mean. And, you know, I've heard several other broadcasts recently, and I've just been paying so much more attention to things that are going on in the world. And I just, first off, want to thank you. You are actually one of the people that got me to wake up and start understanding some of the things that, you know, this society hides from us and some of the things we've been living under. You know, more than 10 years ago, around 2001, I first heard you on your broadcast over 9/11, and I, to be honest, thought you were a racist liar. And
why would I be a racist liar if I said that criminal elements of the government staged 9/11? Just because the media says anybody that disagrees with the government story is a racist.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I understand that. I'm talking about back then.
No, I know. I mean, I'm asking back then. Why did you think that?
Well, I was in 2001. You know, I was pretty much just out of high school. I graduated in '99, very young. All I remember definitely was just seeing all of the propaganda on TV always about things, and you know, the outrage in which you presented the information back then to me just made it seem like, hey, this is just another nut. These guys coming up with these things that the government's out to hurt us, and you know, that illegals are bad, and all these other things. And to me, that's what it seemed at that point, Alex.
No, I understand. And, you know, it's sad because all these other countries are collapsing. You want to help people. It's that they're being used. And so that's what's so frustrating.
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah. But now we can really see where it's going. And we know the master plan. And the good news is, I mean, I'll be honest. Let's talk about Mexico. Mexico's such a beautiful, such a rich country, culturally, economically. That's the kind of place I'd like to retire, is in Mexico. It's not that I want to block the borders to keep brown people from being up here. I like everybody. I love everything from Mexico, basically. I like the people, I like the food. I don't like the corrupt government. And I don't like our government using all of that to take my liberties. So God bless you. Good to hear from you. Great points, Noel.
Now you can watch the InfoWars Nightly News streaming live as it happens for free.
Check it out at Infowars.com/show.
Let's go to your phone calls. JT, Betty, Carolyn, Andrew, Dr. V, Marilyn, Chris, John, Mike. I'll get to all of you. JT, you're on the air from Colorado. You're on the air. What do you think of the fact this guy wanted to go shoot the conservatives on the debate team, and it's buried in the news, but that's not ever going to be heard, I guess?
Well, I think it's kind of indicative of, you know, the duopoly, our whole false paradigm. And the problem is that, the quote-unquote liberals...
the authoritarian, frothing control freaks that shoot the debate team with shotguns? Yeah, liberals, yeah.
Yeah, you know those guys. Not the Jefferson classical liberal. The kids aren't disciplined or controlled. And when they don't win, they go grab a gun.
That's right, because they're not allowed to ever learn to lose at dodgeball. So when they finally lose in debate, they go shoot people with shotguns. You need to learn how to lose a lot. I mean, what's that line from the Aerosmith? You've got to lose to learn how to win. Can we come back with that in the next segment? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly correct, man. If you don't learn how to be a good loser, you'll never be a good winner.
Listen, I'm not a guy that gets into physical fights because I know how to avoid them, but when some big guy starts a fight with me, I'm not scared. I've already been in about 200 of them. I've got to learn how to lose and know how to win. And it's the same deal. These people are so scared. Instead of they banned fist fights in school, so now people just shoot each other. It's totally cowardly.
And it's insane because, you know, it's like that overwhelming power of force. And you see it coming down from Washington every day.
That's right. He had to be right. And they admit, the local sheriff's department said he was mad at the debate team. I went and looked them up. They were libertarians and conservatives. He went and found one and shot him, didn't kill him. And imagine, I disagree with the debate team. I'm a socialist. I'm going to shoot you. God bless you. Good to hear from you, brother. Let's talk to Caroline in Panama. That's down in Central America, folks. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. I'm calling to suggest that you interview Mike Maloney of goldsilver.com. He has a really good program explaining economics to people like me, the layman, and that you understand clearly how the economy's working and how to protect yourself. And also,
you know, I'm actually familiar with him. He might be a good guest. Maybe I'll get him on. What else is on your mind? What do you think of a Democrat, quote, avowed socialist going and trying to kill the debate team because they didn't agree with him?
Well, it's sick.
Should we turn our guns into him? Because he was for banning guns as well. Well, we should give our guns to him so he can shotgun us in the head, right?
Yeah, that's what they say. I mean,
no, that's how communism works. You turn your guns in, then they come kill you. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I'm kind of against that sort of thing myself.
Well, something like Saving Private Ryan when the guy says, hey, let's be friends, and then stabs him. God bless you, man. Yeah. Good. Anything else?
No, I love you. You speak to my heart, Alex.
Well, you're a sweetheart. You speak to my heart. What's going on down there in Panama? I hear that's pretty up in the hills if you're not down in the basin.
Oh, it is. It's beautiful. But you know something? I watch the food down here, and there's fluoride in the water. There's in the food. The Americans, they made a deal with Panama that they don't check the food when it comes in here. I guess the man in the head of the department where they... Yeah,
that's under the trade agreements. Well, here's the good news. You can search this and look it up. Fertility has dropped in Europe, the United States, and Japan. Everywhere that puts fluoride in the water and takes the shots, Latin America's fertility is now plunging. And, of course, it's because of the fluoride in the shots on record. But, see, I'm a racist. I don't want Hispanics and Latinos to be sterilized. That's why I'm saying don't drink the fluoride, don't take the Gardasil. It's because I'm against Hispanics that I don't want them to all die. I appreciate your call. Yeah, I saw a number just 2 weeks ago. My dad showed it to me in the Wall Street Journal. Plunging fertility in Latin America. Yeah, keep taking those shots. You're not going to have any poquitos any soon. You're not going to have any little babies soon when they're done with you. You'll be absolutely sterile with HIV. Let's talk to Andrew in Illinois. Andrew, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Nice show, Alex. I was researching CIA Al-Qaeda, and I typed in CIA-Q by mistake, and it comes into the Federal Interagency Committee on Indoor Air Quality, and Department of Defense, United States Information Agency, and Department of Army, all those alphabets come up. It's a very interesting members list. Also, people should watch Torchwood, because it tells all about the FEMA camps and what they intend to do with the weak and sick, is to torch them.
Well, the Civilian Inmate Labor Camp Program, declassified in 1998, and the Emergency Centers Establishment Act, declassified 3 years ago, tell us everything. Everything. It's all public, but people don't want to admit it, even as Obamacare now takes money out of the bank accounts of those that signed up on the exchange. It's now official, mainstream news. But it's okay. Look, I'm more bad because I'm right. You understand? You're more bad, Andrew, because you're right. Have you learned that yet?
Yes, I have. And I learned one more thing. That in Nevada, it's against the law to deliberately poison food, water, and drink and medicine. And look what they're doing with fluoride, amongst other things. Bring those laws to bear, and we'll probably stop a lot of this by using local state laws.
Absolutely. We need nullification, the states to stand up, the police and military to say no, a rediscovery of liberty and private rights, private individuals, private property. It's over for globalism. It cannot exist in a system with a Bill of Rights. That's why they're attacking it. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back with Dr. V, Marilyn, Chris, John, Mike, everybody else, 800. If you want to give us a call during the week, it's 800. It's 877-789-2539 on the Sunday show, because I produce it all in-house right here. We will come back and go to your calls, and I still have a lot of news, about 10 stacks I haven't gotten to. We'll mention some of that news, get into some budget deal. Still short of votes to pass in the Senate. I've got some news here dealing with the Federal Reserve. European shares extend 2-week slide on Fed jitters. The Fed's really private European banks mainly. We've got another report here dealing with the Fed could set off year-end fireworks if they do cut the money printing and the M1 and M2 money supply. That's going to be coming up. And then, hey, the gun grabbers, they're planning to get our guns backfired. Most gun laws passed since Sandy Hook have loosened restrictions. That's in guns.com. And here's another one. Gun stocks soar. Gun control dead as an issue because we stood up. When we stand up, we win. Stay with us.
Hello, this is Hank Hill, and I'm telling you what, you need to listen to Alex Jones.
Yeah. Infowars.com. Yeah.
Judge, what is the secret of the universe?
Infowars.com. Yeah.
Briefly, we're not like MSNBC, whose parent company got billions of dollars of bailout money, or MSNBC got hundreds of millions in stimulus money to pitch anti-gun, anti-family garbage, or NPR that gets around $500 million a year of your taxpayer money at gunpoint if you don't pay the taxes to preach all their anti-liberty garbage. We're funded by viewers like you. And every Christmas, we give a special gift to folks, the gift of liberty, where you can get 5+ months free when you sign up for a year to InfoWars Nightly News, to see the nightly news, to see all the films, 18 years of material, prisonplanet.tv. 5 nights a week, we have the nightly news. I host it. We've got all the reporters. And then, of course, we've got some cable systems, others that pick it up. But everybody can see it and help fund our First Amendment operation. $5.95 a month, 11 people can use the membership. It's really 11 memberships for $5.95. But if you sign up for a year, you get 5+ months free off the monthly cost. Comes to like 5.3 months free. So you're talking about a huge discount, 11 memberships for $39.95 a year. And that helps pay for the bandwidth, the cameras, the reporters, the research, all of it. So become a InfoWarsNews.com or PrisonPlanet.tv member today. Your Christmas shopping's done. Why fight the traffic? Why do it all? Go get a membership, create that username passcode that you can share that's original to the site, and then give it to friends and family. 11 people simultaneously can log in. So really, it's more than 11 memberships. 11 people can simultaneously log in. Who's going to do that? If you ever log in and you can't because 11 people are on it, thank God you've gotten 11 people to tune in at one time. Probably share it with like 100 people, and they would. So, prisonplanet.tv. And lastly, before we go to your calls, I've done deep research with medical doctors, nutritionists, you name it, about how I protect myself from all the Fukushima radiation that's just getting higher and higher in our hemisphere as those 5 damaged reactors continue to melt down and belch out radiation that blows right across the Pacific, direct winds into us, and so many other issues. And I found nascent iodine, patented. Nobody else has it. I literally just bought it out for the next several years. I'm the only person that sells it in the country. True nascent iodine. If you try it, you'll be blown away. What it's done for me and my family is amazing. This is the good halogen. Watch the video where I break it down. Read the medical info. Talk to your physician. It's double strength, half the price of the leading competitor that's not even real nascent iodine. InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. 24 hours a day. They can answer your questions, tell you about specials, take your order. But it is your purchase of the Survival Shield, the Fluoride Shield, the Chiapas High Mountain coffee from Southern Mexico. That's my personal favorite. 2 years to get the connection. We've come out with Wake Up America Patriot Blend Coffee and Immune Support Patriot Blend Coffee. Leading competitors are 40, 50% more for the same Chiapan High Mountain coffee. It's like Guatemalan coffee, but better. It's my personal favorite. It's very popular. People are now drinking it. You've seen the rave reviews. People are going crazy. This is my favorite coffee. This is what I drink every day. InfoWarsLife.com or 888-253-3139. And support our local AM and FM affiliates. Support their local sponsors. Become a sponsor. Spread the word about the transmission. We're funded by listeners and viewers like you, not by tax money like MSNBC or NPR. So it is your goodwill and paying with your dollars, voting with your dollars, your war bonds that makes this possible. So I salute all of you that visit InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com. Okay, let's go to your calls. Let's move quick. Who's up next, Dr. V or Andrew? Who's up next? Dr. V in Florida, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. Glad to talk with you again.
God bless you, brother.
Thank you so much for bringing in the iodine issue. I know David Brownstein. I know Joe Wallach. I've done work in the holistic medical field for 30 years. The next step is really about self-care. I don't know if you've heard or seen the documentary Escape Fire. I highly recommend it because it is a documentary about the whole medical system.
No, I haven't. But, I mean, look, the #1 killer in the U.S. is not automobiles. The federal government, the CDC admits it. It's now medical care because not the doctors or nurses, but the government control won't let them give you the real care. We've got to learn how to take care of ourselves. You know, they burned thousands of women at the stake for getting herbs. They've always tried to stop people from learning how to protect themselves and be healthy.
This is the next step. This is the next step, to teach people self-care. This is your avenue. It is what you offer the public.
Well, by the way, all the experts from different groups told me true iodine is the key. And I cannot believe what it's done for me. I mean, it is, I've never talked like this. It is magic, folks, what it's done for my psyche, my health, my sleeping. What is your take on iodine? I mean, I didn't plan you to call in and say this.
I got to tell you, I know David Brownstein personally. I know you've talked to him.
Dr. Brownstein, yeah, medical doctor, yeah.
Absolutely. And I prescribe it to my patients unequivocally. And it is the one thing. Have you seen the huge amount of breast cancer that's out there? You know, and it's all about, run for the cancer cure, run for curing breast
cancer. They don't tell women it's because they took the iodine out of the salt. Yeah, they won't tell them.
Absolutely. They don't tell it. They don't tell women that their deficiency in breast cancer is causing fibrocystic breast disease. And that's where the problem lies.
Incredible. I know. It's incredible. I mean, my wife got on this 4 months ago. True iodine, because any iodine is better than having none. But this nascent, pure, it turns blue on paper. Other iodine turns black. This is the pure form of it. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. And again, the system, I later learned the elite, the federal government did the right thing in the 20s and made them put it in the salt, but then pulled it out in the 60s. Why do you think that is?
Well, because there was something called the goiter belt that existed in the Midwest, which included Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, right. And there's no naturally occurring iodine in that soil. So they did it simply for the reduction of goiter.
That's right, and people can search this. 15-point IQ increase within 2 years once they put iodine in the salt, and then they took it out again. Incredible. God bless you, sir. Yeah, I didn't mean to go off into that. Was not planned to have that guy call in and say that. It's just so incredible. And that's bound iodine that's in the gourmet salts, and bound iodine they used to put in the bread. They took it out and put bromine in it and stuff that's illegal in Europe. It's just, you get real iodine. I mean, whoa, that's all I got to say. Whoa. I mean, this is incredible. It's the opposite of fluoride. Yeah, there's Business Insider, how adding iodine to salt resulted in a decade's worth of IQ gains for the United States. Even if you don't get Survival Shield, proprietary pure nascent iodine, glowing purple, blue, like the actual crystal, no one else has that. It doesn't matter. The regular bound stuff, your body can still break it down. Just get the iodine, folks. That's all I can tell you. Life changer, game changer, game changer. Let's jam in one more. Maryland and Maryland, then I'll come back to you if you get cut off short. Go ahead.
I feel like I'm a candidate as a stooge for some kind of entrapment. My family has connections to the NSA and other intelligence agencies, and for family infighting, they've made my life hell. I'm stalked by Skynet. I'm a target for their electronic terror and harassment.
Oh, yeah. If your family's work for the system, it's a living hell. I mean, look, you're in Maryland, man.
Shortwave are jammed. My PayPal account is sabotaged. And I just wonder, what are they going to try next?
Well, brother, all I know is there's a total war going on right now, and you just need to speak out, own it, not be afraid of it, and they'll back off. When you're intimidated by it, they go 100 times worse. But I see the craziest stuff out of Maryland I see anywhere else. Alex Jones here with a very important announcement for truth seekers. We've carried a lot of amazing films and books over the years on the online video bookstore at Infowars.com. And out of all the titles we've carried, one stands out because it is just so chillingly convincing. And that's Dreams from My Real Father by Joel Gilbert, available at Infowars.com. This film exposes the fraud that Obama is like nothing I've seen. If you want to know who Obama's real daddy is, this is the film for you. Don't forget, your purchase supports our broadcast and our growing media network. You'll also find at InfoWarsShop.com, None Dare Call It Conspiracy by Gary Allen, the book that woke me up. We're also carrying Behind the Green Mask, UN Agenda 21 by Rosa Corey. This book is coffin nails to the globalist takeover. The Greater Good, the most professional and up-to-date film I've ever seen exposing the scourge that is vaccines. These titles and a lot more are all available at InfoWarsShop.com. All right, I'm going to go back to Chris and John and Mike and Betty and a few others that are patiently holding. But I was listening to our local affiliate 590 AM last week, and I heard this ad. Nothing against the station, you know, your ads that come to you. And I've heard it on other stations around the country, so I thought I'd go look this up. And sure enough, I heard the ad for New Vigil. Gotta love that Orwellian name. It says it has an established safety profile. Most reported side effects were rated as mild to moderate. Common side effects of New Vigil were headaches, nausea, dizziness, and trouble sleeping. 7% of patients taking New Vigil stopped treatment due to side effects. And then it goes over the side effects. And my whole issue is America already guzzles a lot of coffee, which moderate use is good for you, heavy use is bad for you. Studies are there. But the #1 selling drink in this country is the 1 Hour Energy, or 5 Hour Energy, or whatever, those little bottles. And people are just guzzling this, not getting the nutrition they need. And now they're pushing these stimulants that the military previously used when they had to fly, you know, 6, 7 missions a day in jet aircraft, or you only take this during emergencies. And the Pentagon backed off of this because they had so many problems with it. So I thought I would air this New Vigil piece. And when I looked it up on YouTube, somebody done a parody video. So if you're a radio listener, go to Infowars.com/show. And you can actually see the parody video that goes along with the real audio. But it's all these drug ads, not just New Vigil, where you, and they've had some of them here on the network I'm on. I mean, I'm not judging people that have these ads. It's just that now half the ad is what it does to you. That sounds 100. It's like, you have restless leg syndrome? Well, then take this. And then it says all these horrible things after it. So this is a real radio ad, folks. This is a real New Vigil ad airing all over the country on every station. I've heard it on San Antonio stations, Dallas stations. This is a huge ad buy. This ad's airing. And you've got to understand, folks, they wrote on the subway walls in New York in the 60s, speed kills. I mean, we all know about Breaking Bad and all this stuff. The point is, this is just becoming mainline shift disorder. Here it is.
New Vigil is not for children. New Vigil doesn't replace sleep, may not stop all sleepiness, and has risk of abuse or dependence. Use as directed. Common side effects are headache, nausea, dizziness, and trouble sleeping. Stop New Vigil and call your doctor for depression, anxiety, hallucinations, extreme activity, aggression, thoughts of suicide, other mental problems, chest pain, or abnormal heartbeat.
Folks, that's a real ad, and they have a TV version, too, I saw on CNN. So I'm just giving you where I heard this so you know this really aired. This is not a joke. And, I mean, I listen to talk radio. I'm flipping through the channels in my car, I hear it on XM. This ad is just running on everything you can imagine. I first heard it last week. And my thing is, the ad starts, that's like 90% of it. The ad starts, new vigil if you have sleep disorder trying to stay up. And then it just goes into all the side effects that you just heard. I guess we did play the whole ad, actually. They say that first part there. My point is that this is Twilight Zone type stuff. Well, I've covered 5 of the 16 stacks. Tomorrow on the weekday show, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., I'll cover it all. Infowars.com, of course, is the news website. We got the nightly news, 7 o'clock Central, as I mentioned, weeknights. But right now, let's go back to your calls. Let's get everybody in here that's still holding. Mike in Tennessee, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, got a suggestion for a copy ad on your story, and then another citing of some information about your story you're just talking about. Going ballistic, the authoritarian solution for losing the debate.
All right, explain to me what that means.
Well, obviously, the authoritarian went ballistic when he lost the debate. That was his solution.
No, exactly. That's what they do. He lost the debate in Colorado, so he went and tried to kill the librarian, the speech teacher, and the people he was debating with.
And you tie that in with historically how authoritarians want to kill everybody because they can't control them, because ultimately it's all about control. It's, as I've told you before, when she can't have the boyfriend, nobody can have the boyfriend.
Man, you really hit the nail on the head. I didn't get what you were saying at first because it caught me off guard. No, you're right. For those that just tuned in, Colorado shooting Friday on the anniversary of the tragic events in Sandy Hook. This guy, a quote, avowed Democratic Socialist, was mad at the people he was debating, so he went to kill them and was able to shoot one of them, and thank God not kill him. And that just shows that these people historically cannot put up with anyone disagreeing with them.
That's it. They can't. They flake out because it's all about control. They're so friggin' narcissistic that it's my way or no way, and that's it. And he blew his head off because that was the ultimate solution to end his problem, which was him.
God bless you. What a smart point Chris just made, or the Mike from Tennessee. Who was that from Tennessee? Mike from Tennessee. They already deleted him off the board there. Now, that's what makes me frustrated is that I've been around big Hollywood people, not just Charlie Sheen and all the others that have been on the show, and so many of them are awake, but then they're also narcissistic, and it's just crazy. I mean, it is so wild how these people operate. And Obama taking photos, selfies of himself, they're not even conscious. So the inmates are running the asylum. Chris in Indiana, then John and Mike, and then Betty. Chris, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Ooh, you just committed a racist crime like bad as brown bags.
Yeah.
Whoa,
man,
whoa, FCC. He said Christmas. Whoa.
And my name's Chris, man. That just automatically labels me as a terrorist or a racist. Uh-oh, uh-oh.
Better do what you're told by government to prove you're not bad. What'd you calling about today, my friend?
Hey, all right, Alex. I'd like everyone out there, obviously, the movie with Jimmy Stewart entitled It's a Wonderful Life will be airing on, I believe, NBC on Christmas Eve like it does every year. And now
it's an anti-bankster takeover film. People should watch it.
You're exactly right. It shows how banks really work, and really that town of Bedford Falls represents
America
the world as a whole. Yeah, really the world as a whole.
No, you're right.
And like you said, the Bailey Building and Loan represents the countries or the regions that do not want to go along with the big bankers, which is represented by Mr. Potter.
Man, Jimmy Stewart was an incredible veteran, inventor of offshore drilling. You know, that guy was one of the first billionaires.
I did not know that. No.
Yeah, all self-made, an amazing person.
He was an amazing person, God rest his soul. And I just wanted to say that when he is given the opportunity by the angel that comes and saves him, and, you know, seeing what life would be like without him being born, because basically he takes over the Bailey Building and Loan, which represents, in turn, the not being able to be monopolized.
Listen, here's the deal. We need to do a review before next week for Christmas. Maybe Christmas Day, I'll do a special broadcast, a review of It's a Wonderful Life with clips. John Bound, you want to help me do it? Watch it immediately. I've seen it 20 times, but help me. I'll shoot it. We'll have a whole hour on Christmas Day so folks can tune in, and I'll play clips of It's a Wonderful Life and talk about it. That's a great idea. God bless you, caller. God bless you, Chris. John in Virginia, go ahead. Thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Hey, buddy. How you doing today?
Pretty good, brother.
Listen, I wanted to tie in what you were talking about earlier. I read an excellent article. I'm driving down the road. I can't tell you where I read it. If you start page some of the stuff I'm going to say, you can read it. But it was about a psychologist that did a study on your average gun control advocate, not the globalist, but just your average gun control advocate. And he made the point in there that most of them have suffered from a higher than average murderous rage, and they're afraid to own guns.
Oh, no. You're right. Buzz Bissinger on Piers Morgan said he wants to kill me. And then later he said, I apologize. I'm mentally ill. I shouldn't have a gun. Well, okay, you're mentally ill. I'm not like you. I shoot somebody with a gun if they're attacking me.
Exactly, and that's what the article went on to say, is he said he found that most of your gun owners are responsible citizens that, are just your average Joe that wants to protect their family.
Exactly. We're men and women that aren't screwballs, and just because the establishment's a bunch of sickos, we shouldn't turn our guns in. Great point. Sorry, buddy, I'm out of time. Great job to the crew. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central, the weekday transmission. Infowars.com is where the revolution against tyranny starts. Ask yourselves, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds?